What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Star Wars edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is web series where we're talking about all things matter to me in the world of Star Wars films. This is episode number 23, and we're going to start off by doing a box office update for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Where is it at the worldwide box office? Well, first of all, it took the crown away from James Cameron at the domestic box office. It also just opened in China last week, and finally, it just went into its 5th weekend of release. So, it has now made $1.869 billion. That is a lot of money. But, will it take down Avatar at the worldwide box office? No, it won't. In fact, a lot of people didn't think it would. But, will it sink Titanic? A lot of box office experts say it would, with the box office ending at possibly $2.2 or $2.4 billion. That is no longer happening. Star Wars The Force Awakens will not sink Titanic in the worldwide box office, mainly because Lucasfilm and Disney were depending and banking on the international power of China. Apparently, we've just found out that the Chinese audiences are not that huge a fan of Star Wars. They're bigger fans of Jurassic World and Avatar and Furious 7 and Avengers. But they're not that big of a fan of Star Wars, unfortunately, because it hasn't made that much money in China. So at this rate, it is not going to beat, or rather sink, Titanic. That is not happening. It is going to be behind Titanic, and they need over $300 million to sink Titanic. That is not happening. This film will most likely end at $900 million, a little bit over at the domestic box office, and there's not that much money left to be made in the international market, unfortunately. The decline in the box office is going to happen in China very, very soon. It's probably already happening right now, and that is it. So it's not sinking Titanic, and there you have it, but it's still doing pretty good. In fact, it's doing an outstanding job. So moving on, let's talk about what is happening with the other Star Wars films. Well, let's talk about Episode 9. I know Episode 8 is the next film, but let's talk about Episode 9 and what exactly the fans are doing about Episode 9. Get this. There is a petition going on right now for George Lucas to direct Episode 9 instead of Colin Trevorrow. Now, the fans who want this to happen because they think it would be a good send-off to George Lucas. It would be a good way to conclude the 9-film saga. I'm just thinking, let it go. George Lucas already let it go. Why do you want to put him back into this mess? George Lucas says that he doesn't want to do it anymore. He sold Lucasfilm for $4 billion to Disney, so why would he be even coming back? They didn't even want his ideas for Episode 7 after they asked him for ideas. All his ideas were rejected, so do you think he's really going to come back? And second, I don't want him to come back, alright? He's done his thing. He's done what he wants to do. You know, I appreciate what he's done for the original trilogy, but let the man move on. Let the man live in peace. Let the man continue his, making his films in peace. Don't bother the guy anymore. Let Colin Trevorrow give us something. Alright, so that's what's happening right now. I'm not even going to send you a link to that petition. If you want to look it up. But that ain't happening. At least it ain't happening for me because I don't want to see that happen. Alright, so let's move on and talk about the next Star Wars film. And that would be Star Wars Rogue One, which is coming out in December. And that is going to be really, really exciting because it's a story that has to do with the events of Star Wars A New Hope. Because if you don't already know, it's about this elite squad of X-Wing pilots who recovered the Death Star plans, and then what follows is the events of A New Hope. So, if that's going to be happening, some of the things that we could see are some of the characters that we've seen before. For example, what we do know for sure is Grand Moff Tarkin's going to be in it, like a younger version of himself. And then we're also going to see a cameo from Darth Vader. All right, but who else might we see? Well, it has been rumored that a younger version of Han Solo could appear. A young version of Han Solo could appear in Rogue One. Now, Rogue One is filming right now, so seeing this happen is pretty exciting to, see everything come together. Now, if they're going to have Han Solo in Rogue One, that means they have to cast for Han Solo, a young version of Han Solo. And that is exactly what is happening right now, because apparently there was a casting call put out which brought in 2,500 submissions. 2,500 submissions to play a young Han Solo, and now Disney has narrowed it down to 8 actors. And I'm going to give you these 8 actors right now. Ansel Elgort, Miles Teller, Dave Franco, Jack Reynor, Scott Eastwood, Logan Lerman, Emory Cohen, and Blake Jenner. These are our 8 candidates for young Han Solo. So I'm going to tell you who I don't want to see as a young Han Solo. I don't want to see Miles Teller. I do like him as an actor, but I don't want to see him as Han Solo. I definitely don't want to see Dave Franco as a young Han Solo. I absolutely do not want to see Jack Reynor as a young Han Solo. Logan Lerman, I think that he could play young Han Solo, but I think that he's still somewhere at the bottom of my list. Scott Eastwood is a maybe for me. He has a little bit of a more mature look for a young actor, but he's a maybe, all right? I think his look is a little bit too mature looking, but I still think that he could pull it off. So let's go to my first, second, and third runner-up. My third runner-up is Emory Cohen. I've actually never heard of him, never seen any of his work, but he has that look that I can see for a young Han Solo. Then my second runner-up is Blake Jenner. Once again, never seen any of his work, but he has he has the it factor. He has a look that has personifies that cockiness and that heroic style that Han Solo has, all right? But my first pick is Ansel Elgort. Once again, never seen any of his work. I've never even heard of him. But I think he's my first choice because at least he looks the part. So what I'm getting at is that I would rather actors that are unknown to me play Han Solo. Because I've seen what these other actors are like, and while acting is very it's something where you can diversify and improve your craft by playing all kinds of roles. I just don't see them playing young Han Solo, mainly because I've seen the roles that they've played in the past, and a lot of the roles they played in the past really show you what they are like as actors, and they haven't really gone beyond that. So I'd rather see someone that I've never heard of. Ansel Elgort is my number 1 pick. Blake Jenner is my second pick, and Emory Cohen is my third pick. All right, and maybe Scott Eastwood. All right. So there you have it. That's all I got to talk about with regards to Rogue One. Now, finally, I want to end off by talking about what's going to happen in Episode 8. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to read you a couple of quotes that John Boyega said, because he was talking about the fact that they're going to start filming or working on Episode 8 by the end of the month, which is very, very soon, obviously. So this is what he had to say. It's great, much darker, but we're very excited. So that's good to know. And then he says, my part in the next film will be much more physical, so I might be in the gym a bit more. So, as you can see, his character will be evolving. It's going to have more of a physical role. Episode 7 was just there to establish the character and the story. And now we're really going to get down to character and story development. because his character will evolve. It's going to have more of a physical role. We're going to see him in more dangerous situations and situations involving him doing more physical actions and stunts. So that's cool. That's a symbol of the fact that we're going to see more character development. And as for story development, he said that it's great and it's much darker. So that's something that tells me that it's episode 8 is going to be the Empire Strikes Back of the sequel trilogy, which is really not that far-fetched, to be completely honest, because episode 7 establishes the characters, it introduces the story and whatnot. It's a very, very safe approach to a brand new story, all right? Episode 8, the second installment in the sequel trilogy, is where we're going to see all the revelations. We're going to see new story reveals. We're going to see some twists and turns, and we're definitely going to see changes into the tone of the film. The first film was very, very fun. This one is going to feel, and by this one I mean episode 8, this one's going to feel more like Empire Strikes Back, which I'm very, very excited about. And hopefully they introduce a lot of newer elements into this story. All right, so very, very excited about that. I'm excited to see a lot of story twists and a lot of really, really mysterious reveals. I really think that's going to happen, and episode 8 comes out in May of 2017. All right, very, very exciting stuff. Anyways, why don't you guys let me know in the comments section below, who would you want to see as the new young Han Solo? I'm going to leave you a list of actors in the description box below so you can check it out. And there you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. On fall of 2016, this year. But now it looks like it's going to be delayed to 2017. Now, I don't know the exact date.